Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 13th of December. Is there any history of bad things happening on Friday the 13th? Not a lot, to be honest. It's just a number. All right, ES. We saw a bit of a retracement yesterday. I'm still leaning towards seeing, we're testing the weekly pivot as resistance. I'm still leaning towards seeing a retest of this high, although possibly towards seeing a failure afterwards. We're going to have a look at Dow and IWM, which is what I was writing a post about a couple of days ago, and I'm still concerned about both of those. NQ has saw a bit of a retrace yesterday, has already retested and made a new all-time high, and we should get one of those on NDX at the moment, at the open. RTY went lower, and we have messed up our beautiful bull flag here. Not necessarily fatal, but that was one of the things I didn't want to see. YM has gone lower and has broken the daily middle band, and that again is something I didn't want to see, and we're testing the monthly pivot as support at the moment. No current positive divergence. We've had two weak buy signals here, both of which have failed. DAX has retested the high, just the new all-time high there, possible little double top here. ESTX hasn't quite retested the high yet. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, on ES, we've actually got on ES and SPX a weak RSI 5 sell signal, and that's not going to turn into a full-size one, like the NQ one, because we went below the 50 level. Not sure how seriously to take that, but I would note if we are going to go down, then the obvious next target within this wedge would be this wedge support, which is currently in the 59.50 area. Looking at SPX, it's pretty much the same. We are well above the daily middle band, which wasn't retested, and I've got that at 6,000 if we are going to see a retest, which we might. We've got an RSI 14 sell signal that's reached the possible near miss target on the hourly. This is the wedge, and it's not a bad one on SPX. So if we do see a breakdown, I am wondering about that. But there's still a strong argument for seeing a retest of the all-time high first to set up a double top, which would have a target in that area. On the 15-minute chart, we had a weak RSI 14 sell signal fix. That's reached the possible near miss target. We were having a possible RSI 5 15-minute buy signal brewing at the close yesterday, and we've seen a fair. That's probably going to make target at the open. We've seen a fair amount of upside overnight. QQQ is strong. We've got a weak RSI 5 sell signal fix, and we've got a full-size one brewing. This has mainly been a tech-led rally from the low at the moment, which is a concern as that's not very broad. On the hourly chart, we've got a 60-minute sell signal which hasn't made target yet, and on the 15-minute chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal which hasn't made target yet. But at the moment, it's been too strong to make those targets. Right, on Dow, we made the RSI 5 sell signal target, and we've broken fairly clearly below the daily middle band. I am concerned about that because I think this is opening potentially the road to further downside in the short term, which I was hoping not to see before Christmas. But nonetheless, it would play out some negative divergence. So and probably on SPX give us a test of the daily middle band and maybe lower. We are testing on the hourly chart the 200 hour moving average, obviously well below the 50, which tends to be short-term support. On the 15-minute chart, obviously we made the double top target on Dow, so we will see. We do have a potential head and shoulder neckline target here down in about the 429 area. Looking at IWM. Right, IWM. On the daily chart, we've now again broken below the daily middle band, and this is what I was hoping wouldn't happen in my post on Wednesday. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. On the 15-minute chart, we've got possible 15-minute RSI 14 and RSI 5 sell signal spring, and we've broken the flag support here. We haven't broken it by much, but any break is not a good thing. So potentially this is opening lower targets, and it's making the scenario where we see a retest of the all-time high on ES and then fail immediately into a larger retracement more likely. So we will see how that goes. On DAX, DAX on the daily chart, we've got a little bit of negative divergence, but it's slight. on Nikkei, we've seen a nice move up, went well over the daily upper band, and we're getting pretty close to a retest of 40.3. Because the bands have been contracting, we could well see more consolidation in this area, and that could well be consistent with some more downside in the short term coming fairly soon on equities. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX has broken up from the flag and has a target at a retest of this high here in about the 107.7 area. Not seeing anything to suggest that isn't going to make target. ZB, this may be fairly early. This was a counter trend bounce. I'm expecting if we are converting back to the downside, then my next target's at about the 105, 106 area. And I think it's got a pretty good chance of making it. That would be a retest of the high for the last 10 years on TNX. Looking at CL, CL, we had a sell signal, it made target. We came back afterwards. There is a lot of bullish talk in energies at the moment. We will see whether it can break up. At the moment, this is still in a very long triangular consolidation. So we shall see. How do we have a trend line there? Not quite, or at least if we do, we just broke over it slightly. But it wasn't a great trend line anyway. But we will see. If we fail in this area, we've got a nice looking little double top, and I still have a target at 63.57. NG. If this goes much higher, then it risks messing up the setup where this is making a right shoulder at the moment. That's a nice setup, and we do have a seasonal decline into April. And a headwind in terms of the futures rolls. But if we see a breakup, we see a breakup anyway. This has been a nice move off the lows, but at the moment it's not done any technical damage. I'd prefer it didn't. GC, no current divergence. We're back testing the monthly pivot at the moment. Keeping an open mind, but obviously this has a headwind. Actually, I think this might be a 60-minute buy signal break. Hang on, let me check that. I was thinking it wasn't when I was looking at it earlier, but actually I'm not sure now. Nope, it's not. No divergence there. Obviously, while the dollar is heading up towards the retest target, this is in a headwind. SI, it's looking as though this double top may have failed, and it's heading back into the low. HG broke up from the flag, hasn't made any progress to the upside. We've got a little double top here, which might be breaking down. We could retest the low to make the second low of a double bottom, of course. All right, great. Nothing really to see on the currencies this morning. KC, there's been a crop failure in South America, and as a result, people are thinking this may well be going up. I don't have a decent looking double top here. There's nothing to prevent this going up. It would be nice if it made the possible near miss target, which is just shy of on the 60-minute sell signal, but this is probably going higher. SB still in this incredibly long consolidation, almost 3 months now, and I'm hoping we get up and retest this high before that drops off the chart. CC is continuing to go higher, 60-minute sell signal fixed, but it is undeterred by that. This could go significantly higher. This hasn't reached the big highs that we reached a few months to a year ago, which I think were in about 14,000 area, but I will check. CW, 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target, and we've still got a beautiful double bottom here. We'll see how that goes. On corn, we've been seeing a retracement, but it looks bullish, and we've now got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. On soy, still looks like a bear flag forming, although it broke up from the beautiful bear flag channel. Might be setting up for retest the low. That could be the second low of a double bottom. Cotton looks like should be retesting the low here, just under 68.5. Lumber trending down at the moment. Not really got a pattern on this one, and no positive divergence really worth the mention. We will see. Live cattle has gone higher. Nice bullish move. Nothing to suggest at the moment really that that's ended. Lean hogs looks like it's forming a bull flag at the moment. All right, okay, let's have a look at. Let's just have a quick recap. Look at questions. No questions. I'm still leaning towards. We've seen the breaks that I was talking about, that I was concerned about happening because of the action on Wednesday, have happened. We've seen breaks below the daily middle band on both IWM and Dire. However, what I was saying was that even if that converts and we see more downside, I'd still be leaning towards doing a retest of the all-time high on ES, and that still looks pretty good. But what this does do is it increases the chances that we make that retest and then fail immediately in what would then be a nice-looking double top. We will see. But there are potential targets to the downside. It's just something I was hoping we'd see this retracement after Christmas, but maybe we're going to see it beforehand. We shall see. Is there a statistical lean that Friday the 13th is a bad thing? No, there isn't. So we shall see. All right, great. Anyway, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday.